The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, testing. There we go. Okay, I think I got it right. It kicked me off earlier when I tried to log in, but I think I figured out the problem here. Can everybody hear me? Let me try to pull this up real quick here. All right. All right, looks like I have one attendee in here. Janelle, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started here. And before I get started, I want to say thank you for coming. This is my number 5 session. My name is Joshua Casey. I'm one of the coaches here with Disruptive Traders TV. And I teach Waveology and harmonic wave convergence for beginners. So before we go ahead and get started, we do have to go through the disclaimer, and I have to read through it. So, trading foreign exchange in margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors or traders. There are no guarantees of profit, and most Forex traders lose money trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in the foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should only invest money that you can afford to lose. You should be aware that all the risk associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts or uncertainties. This presentation and all of its content, including past trades and potential trade setups, is for educational and informational purposes only. Using any strategies, techniques, or software mentioned in the presentation is also risky. We make no guarantees of profit of any kind. The presenter is not a licensed financial professional and therefore will not give any financial advice or recommendations. All information in this presentation is our opinion and may not reflect the truth or reality in the world of trading. Please use your own good judgment and seek advice from a qualified consultant before believing, accepting, and acting upon any information in this presentation. This is not a solicitation to invest. Hypothetical performance results have many inherent limitations, some of which are described below. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in the actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or to adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in the preparation of hypothetical performance results, and all of which can adversely affect actual trading results. Rewards plan disclaimer: your actual commission and residual income will vary depending on your work ethic, hours you spend on customer acquisition, and the quality of the customers you refer. Man, it's always a mouthful. So me and my daughter actually, well, she might have had some type of flu-like symptoms, but we're both getting over something. I think well, they told me I had some form of an upper respiratory infection, so you might hear me from time to time cut off my mic, and after this, I'm going to go get some rest. So slowly but surely getting over this sickness of some sort that I have. So, like I said, you might hear me cut my mic off from time to time because I'm trying not to hear you guys hear me coughing or blow your ears out or anything. So the last time, let me pull this up real quick for you guys, that we spoke on my previous webinar, we went over 10-minute harmonic wave convergence. And let me pull up this chart. Here we go. 10-minute harmonic wave convergence, when you have the 10-minute wave at an extreme, and then you have the 1 minute, your peak 10 at an extreme within your middle chart here, which will be your 5-minute chart or your 10. And then you have on the 1 minute chart your P5 going into the extreme with it, thus resulting in a 10-minute harmonic wave convergence. So keep in mind some of the, you might have some questions about some of the indicators that you see here, but all these indicators that you see within the chart are all designed to complement what you learn from the other traders as well. So we're just going to be going over the basics. And today I would like to really touch base on, what to look for, how we can help program your RAS to determine, when a good trade opportunity comes about or is in front of you. There is an array of different strategies that people utilize. Me in particular, I use the clayway strategy. If you don't know what that is, please refer to the schedule that we have here posted. Again, Mondays is when first you'll see Dallas Greger. He starts at 1400 Eastern in regards towards the disruptor traders AI information in the MT4 orientation. So he goes over all of the artificial intelligence info. I go over, of course, this is me right now, 1800 Eastern. I go over the basics of harmonic wave convergence and waveology. And then you also have, moving forward, Tuesdays, Josh Grellner going over pitchforks, intermediate. And then we have Todd going over Charlie Delta. Clay Taylor, this is what I was talking about, waveology, intermediate, harmonic wave convergence. He goes over his clayway opportunities and trades, and so on and so forth. I always encourage everybody not to only stick with one specific course. If you're using the AI, obviously go into these courses for Dallas. If you're just getting involved with harmonic wave convergence, touch base with me, get in my sessions, look at the pre-recorded ones on YouTube, and then I believe we also have let's see here, Tony Dyer. He also does it on Friday at 11 Eastern. So a lot of, and it's one of those deals where, hey, I just watched Josh, and then I'm going to progress on Tuesday to watch Clay's. So highly recommend checking out as many sessions as you can. And if you miss them, every single one is pre-recorded. So I pulled up this chart earlier. Everything's basically in the past here. So the calibration within the different waves that you see within our tab 29 indicator here, or if you have fast 33, which I don't show on the charts, they're not 100% accurate. So just to kind of touch how my process looks when I'm looking for a 10-minute harmonic wave convergence trade or even a clayway opportunity, but in this case we're going to be looking at on this chart in particular, we're going to look at 10-minute harmonic wave convergence. So what I wanted to show you here is what I have is a 15-minute chart. Now typically I'll transition on this left chart right here. I'll transition between a 15 and a 30-minute chart. And the reason being is because sometimes I like to see what the waves are doing. Let me see here real fast. Gosh, I've been doing this for so long, I keep forgetting how to, there we go. So I'll transition between 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, and the reason why is because you might see the waves differently from the 30-minute chart to the 15. It always starts with the left-hand side, especially if you have tab 29 alerts to let you know when a specific wave is at a static extreme here, which is indicated here within the red and the blue. So here's what I look for on the 15 and 30-minute chart. Now, one of the most powerful things that you're going to have on your chart here is, oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things that you're going to have here on the chart is your 62 EMA. There's so much power behind the 62 EMA, which is why I emphasize everybody to go check out Tim Munsinger's course on the 62, because when you have the knowledge of the 62 EMA, it complements what you do when it comes to waveology and understanding the waves. And yes, of course, it takes some time, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to help program your RAS to identify setups or confirmations or within the charts to know when to get in and out of a trade based off of your form of money management. So as an example here, let me link all this together. There we go. So looking in the past, now let's not focus on the waves as of right now, but actually, you know what, let's do it. So what I'm looking at here in the past on this wave specifically is, one, I can see that I have my 4-hour wave here within the static extreme. And you can see there's other points, and you can also see where I have my 30-minute wave, 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart within the static as well. And then you can also see that it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see that the 15-minute wave went in the static extreme as well. Cycled down, you can see at this point right here, it's starting to be, that 30-minute wave is then being cycled downward by the 15. And then, of course, you have your 240 wave hooking out of that static extreme as well. So at this point right here, if I'm looking at the chart just the way it is, I'm like, okay, it seems as if the waves are now being cycled downwards. But to help complement that, going back to what I was talking about earlier, what you're looking for is that cross. So you're looking for that 513.62 cross, and that's exactly what we have here. Now, if we're looking at a 15-minute chart, which we're on right now, you can see they cross first, the local 62 EMA on this 15-minute chart, which is why it's colored orange here. So great indicator, but what I'm really looking for too is that cross from the 62 EMA from your 5 and 13, which you have both here for. And this is great separation from those two waves here. And why are we looking at that? And also, you get into Clay's course, you can see that this is a triangle, a little breakout of the triangle there. So I always like to tell everybody, you want to trade with impulsivity. And when you have your knowledge of harmonic wave convergence, I can't necessarily tell you this is a 30-minute convergence. Looks like it, but I know for a fact that the waves seem as if they're getting cycled downwards. But you always want to trade on the opposite side of the 62. And that helps you with your waveology and understanding the waveology, because at this point, you know, what we're looking for is when you have that cross with the 62, okay, price action. Chart, candles are moving downwards, but what do we have here? It never crossed. We got a pack move, a pass and check. Price went up slightly past it, but we'll call it a touch. Tagged the 62 before it broke out downwards again. So then, while I'm over here, I'm still watching the chart. And when I'm doing so, let me see if I can pull this up here. Where are we at? I think I missed it. There we are. There's the cross. Here's the pack move. What is that pack move telling us? Okay, so now I'm transitioning over to my 5-minute chart. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, and I can see that now, like I said, the calibrations aren't 100% accurate. Back in time when this was live right here, I can tell you right now that 10-minute wave more than likely went up into the static extreme. But to help confirm that, what we're looking at, okay, one, this is a pack move. But when it comes to your RAS, boom, okay, I see that pack move. I want to go ahead. I see that this is a clayway opportunity because, one, I have a cross downward. So I'm looking for sell opportunities. And this is from when I was looking at that 15-minute chart. Price then went up, tagged the 62. That's our pack move. Okay, boom. And then if you're seasoned or you understand the clayway, awesome. If you don't, that's fine, because guess what? Now we're going to transition over to our 1-minute chart. This is where the execution happens. So we're now on the 1-minute chart. We're looking for an opportunity here. Now we already know we have that cross downwards. So right here, just by looking at this section, What can you guys tell me about this right here in relationship to this? I'm not going to dog on anybody, just off the top of your head, or just I'll give it a minute. What are you observing? What do you see here? What does that look like? Yes, you are, Joe, you are correct. That is correct. Janelle, somewhat correct as well on that. So again, based off of your RAS, how your mind is programmed. Now, if you're a seasoned trader, you'll see a multitude of different things here. So if it was me, for example, I'm the kind of person that always points out divergence. Typically, when you have divergence, that's a prime opportunity or good confirmation to get you in the trade. But not only that, we had a 10-minute harmonic wave convergence. A 10-minute harmonic wave convergence happens when you have your P30 within the PZ. Now, if you see it riding along here, again, the calibration is inaccurate. There is a point where it did hook in here, and it's not going to be within the PZ the entire time. But this is a form of a 10-minute harmonic wave convergence because, again, it's not 100% accurate because it's back in time. But preferably, you would like to see that P30 within the PZ here. But not only that, what helped confirm, because we're stacking probabilities here, is one, take your line, boom, there's our divergence, boom, there's your divergence. Now remember, divergence is measured from candle body to candle body, not wick to wick. So divergence there. And then your P1 hooked within or is touching the static extreme. You can have some leeway if it's touching, but not within this dead zone here. Came in, divergence helped confirm it. Now you'll notice if you ever see some of my trades that are posted back in time, the majority of the time there's always going to be divergence from that P1 before I enter the trade. Now, based off of your form of money management, if you're using pieces of 10, so let's just put up a hypothetical scenario here. You're waiting for that 2-pip pullback. So boom, right here. 2 pips right here. You're in the trade. Now, this is my form of money management, trader's choice, however you want to do it. I'm in the trade, and once I'm in the trade, I then put in my my manual stop loss. Now, the manual stop loss is 3 pips from my point of entry. And then it doesn't have to be exact there. Okay. And then you have your ESL, which is then 10 pips. Now, when this moves downwards, now based off your trading style or however you trade, what I like to do is once the market moves downwards, now I also, not only that, guys, you also have confirmation here. Your trend bar helps, if you have tab 29, helps confirm, boom, we have solid red, we're in the trade. Divergence, 10-minute harmonic wave convergence, you're in the trade. But you always want to wait for that, I always wait for that 2-pip pullback, and you have your advisors here telling you red, 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 then you get into the trade. So what I do is I put in a vertical line right next to my point of entry, which would be there, and then it moves. Now what I do is once the market moves 5 pips past my point of entry, I then go to break even plus 1, which would be at this point right here. Sometimes people like to put an action line, boom, market, boom. As soon as it hits that 5 pips, I then go MSL, break even plus 1. I convert this to my ESL, which I'll just, excuse me. And then from that point, my point of entry, I turn my magnet on. I take a 40% line here, and that is then now my ESL. Now, it's irrelevant to have that MSL there, but I'm just programmed so much to have it there, you don't necessarily have to. But at this point, right about here is where it would close you out. Now, it's not many pips, but you're 3 pips positive. So again, trader's choice based off of however you want your money management. But hey, that's 3 pips right there, guys. And then from this point forward, I look for clayway opportunities. Now, it continues to move, and look at all these different clayway opportunities you get on the way down. So study 10-minute harmonic wave convergence and then complement it with 5-minute harmonic wave convergence, which is where you have your rolling extremes when you study clayways, clayway, and you have a multitude of other opportunities there as well. I think we got some questions here. Converging a bit of the. Do you always wait for the 1-minute candle to close with red bars, or if divergence is there, is it a 1-minute hook good enough for an entry? It is a 1-minute hook, but keep in mind, I want to wait for that trend bar to close red. You want that trend bar to close red to help confirm your entry. Now, when you have divergence, like say if it's a trend line entry, if you have a third hit on a trend line, you don't have to necessarily wait for the trend bars. So say for example, right there, boom. Now this is a trend line right here. You have a third trend line touch. Soon as you on the 5-minute chart right here, guys. Soon as you have a 2-pip pullback, you're in the trade. But this is based off observing the 5-minute chart. It doesn't, and the cool thing about that is we were taught by Steve, if you get a 2-pip pullback from a third touch to the pip on a trend line, you just have to wait for 2 pips and then you're in the trade. But if you're using harmonic wave convergence or you're trading pieces of 10, then you want to wait for that trend bar. And again, hey, guess what? If you want that extra confirmation when you're using a trend line trade, go for it. It's trader's choice, guys. But I'm just helping everybody try to understand, these are the proper steps that I take before I go into a trade. But it happens so quickly. You're going to eventually be programmed, go boom, 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 30 or 15-minute chart, boom, 5-minute chart, execution, 1-minute chart. Sometimes you're going to open up your computer and you're going to see a prime opportunity there, but make sure you take the proper steps before you get into the trade. So again, a hypothetical situation here. You can also have a trend line touch, and then you can also have divergence from your 5-minute chart, your P5 within your 5-minute chart as well. If you have that, prime time, let's go. And that could also be a clayway opportunity. They're all over the chart. But that's why I always like to tell everybody, guys, is, stick with one thing. For me, I did between 100 to 200 10-minute harmonic wave convergence trades before I transitioned over to, okay, now I'm going to implement divergence with trend lines. And then I'm going to go ahead, I want to get seasoned in understanding the clayway. And then boom, here I am, I'm actually trading wedges. So now I know 10-minute harmonic wave convergence, 5-minute harmonic wave convergence, which is the clayway, with the rolling extremes and the Bollinger Bands we have here. If you don't know anything about it, like I said, go on to his courses. Now, and then I'm also drawing wedges all over the place because we have the wedge alerts from disruptive traders. This is awesome. It's great information to have. So, and these triangles are all over the place. So each thing complements. You're just stacking probabilities on top of each other. So yeah, and never be upset if you end up missing a move. The opportunities are there for you guys. One of my goals is 5%, 5% on a demo account, or if it's 5% for you on a live account, 5%, that'll go a long way and that will compound over time. So yeah. So just to kind of recap, with this, guys, and go ahead and start posting your trades within the Scans, Forks, and Fibos group so you have somebody else's eyes. That's one of the other coaches checking out your trades. Please continue doing that because that's going to make you a better trader. We might be able to identify something that you didn't catch, even though it's a good post, or even it's a bad post, or you got a -3. That's okay. But for me, when it comes to 10-minute harmonic wave convergence or even the clay way, I always trade on the cross. Are there opportunities for you before the cross, the 513.62? Absolutely 100%. Do I take them? No. I want the odds to be in my favor. So that's why it's so important to, have those guidelines down. I have so many sticky notes in front of all of my computers. Okay, Josh, one, look at your 15 or your 30-minute chart. Where's your 513.62 cross? Are you trading on the correct side? Yes. Okay, boom. Are you looking for your 10-minute harmonic wave convergence opportunities? Yes. What is it that's telling you you can take the trade? What confirmations do you have? Do you have a pack move? Do you have, you know, um, that P1 going into the P10 within this upper or lower static extreme while your P30 isn't an influence? It's hanging out here within the PZ, and hey, it's going to take some time. If you want to wait for those trades, you just need 1 to 2 of these trades to post a day, guys. That's all we're looking for. So yeah, right now I'm gonna open it up for the next few minutes for any questions. If you guys have any questions, or if you got anything that you would like me to touch on next week, absolutely. I'll be obviously feeling better by then. So yeah, I hope you guys got some great information out of this. But any questions? Can you see where the harmonic wave convergence entry is on the 15-minute chart? Um, yes and no. And here's what I mean by that. Now, that's why I was mentioning earlier, I always look between the 30-minute chart and the 15-minute chart. Because I'll be honest, sometimes it's hard to identify a true harmonic wave convergence, maybe a 30-minute convergence or a 15-minute convergence. Now, look right here. Can you tell me that this is a 30-minute harmonic wave convergence? It could be, but look, if you look at price action, it goes to a higher high at this point. It's a little consolidated here on the 30-minute chart. Is it a true 30-minute harmonic wave convergence? I can't tell you. That's why it's so good to understand Waveology and how price action works with the waves within your indicator here, because the best way to always look at it like this, guys, is for like this point right here. This could definitely be a 30-minute harmonic wave convergence here. You have your 30-minute wave, it went down and it touched the static extreme. Not only that, boom, guess what my brain just told me? Automatically my subconscious has said, Josh, there's divergence right there. Boom. It's crazy how you could just like boom, divergence, boom, divergence. It's crazy. So either way, this could be my 30-minute harmonic wave convergence, but more importantly, I'm noticing that that 30-minute wave is now cycling the upper level waves up. Now, what I want you guys to look for is not the 30-minute harmonic wave convergence. Yes, you can try to say that could be a 30-minute harmonic wave convergence, but to help complement or help program your RAS better is this. This is better because look, that could be a 30-minute harmonic wave convergence. But what's important about this is yes, there's also divergence, but what's important is that you have that 513.62 cross because now you're on the correct side and you're looking for buy opportunities. So this entire time you guys see all this right here, these are clayway and 10-minute harmonic wave convergence trade opportunities right here for you. You only need to focus on buys this entire time. That's when you want to look for the cross. Now, is it okay to try to identify the convergences? Yeah, that's fine. But what's important is you need to tell yourself, I have high probability odds that this may be a 30-minute convergence. However, I'm going to wait for the odds to be in my favor when I get that 513.62 cross, which is right here. Came down, I get a little pack move on my 13 EMA, and then price moved up, and I have all my opportunities within here to trade. So yeah, you could go on a 15-minute chart and a 30-minute chart. Um, and you can try to identify the 30-minute harmonic wave convergence trades. But that is, to be honest with you guys, that is an area where I see a lot of people struggle, is because they are trying to go onto the chart and they're typing up, oh, this is a 30-minute convergence, this is a 15-minute convergence. No, that's not the point. What the coaches are trying to focus on is your entry and your exit. You're practicing on these demo trades. What is it that you identified to get into that trade? And all we're seeing, not everybody, but I have seen it a few times. They're like, okay, this is a 30-minute harmonic wave convergence, so I know that impulse it's going to start cycling downwards. No, tell me where that 513.62 crosses. Put your arrow there, and then show me your sell opportunities. Point out that 513.62 cross, and then show me your buy opportunities from those 10-minute and 5-minute harmonic wave convergence trades. Because once you do that, once you identify those things and the coaches see that, we now know that you're progressing the correct way into understanding Waveology, understanding how Waveology and how it complements the 62 MA and all these different crosses. It's just so powerful. And then progressing with wedges and all that, coming back to these, identifying pack moves and all that. The more the better, that's fine. But we want to understand your thoughts. We want to understand how you're thinking, and that's we want to help you become a better trader. And by saying, hey, you know, 30-minute harmonic wave convergence, question mark. Hey, that's perfect. I'm glad you put a question mark there. We're going to come in there and let you know if that might be one or not. And then, boom, 513.62 cross. Awesome. You identified that. Pack move. Boom, you identified that. And then you show me that on the other chart, screenshot of that. And then you show us a screenshot of your earlier, like I showed you, that pack move and that 10-minute convergence with the divergence. Boom, practice it. Um, so, so yeah, this is it's, I will tell you it is simple, but it's very simple when it comes down to just doing it so many times. Like you can, just like I showed you guys earlier when I found that divergence on the 30-minute chart, it becomes natural. Your subconscious automatically finds the correct setups for you. And all you have to do is click your mouse and you have to, put in your lines, hit buy or sell at the right time on your demo account, because that's going to help you. When it comes natural, when your subconscious reminds you and shows you those things automatically, it's game over, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, but it comes down to discipline. It comes down to, continuously practicing the trades, and most importantly, posting the trades. Post your trades. And if any of the coaches don't say anything to one of your posts for your demo trades within 24 hours, tag me or one of the other coaches in there and be like, hey, Josh, what do you think about this? Here's a trade I did. I haven't gotten a response from a coach. Boom. We want to help you guys. So yeah, I'm really excited and I'm so grateful. I'm very thankful that both of you decided to hop on today. I know I've been sick. I didn't get on last week because I was sick, but I plan on hopping on as much as I can. I'm going to talk to Steve to see if I can probably do 2 a week, 2 sessions a week as well. So yeah. So other than that, from the bottom of my heart, thank you both for hopping on. And I have to post this real fast here before I hop off. Boom. There's a disclaimer. So yeah, you guys, you have an amazing week. And I always like to tell everybody, money comes and goes, but the one thing you never get back is time. So use your time wisely to let the loved ones that you have around you know that you care about them when you can. Spend time with your family. Continue to post your trades. So I'm very thankful for you guys to being on here again, and look forward to seeing you next week.